Yo, guys, Manchester United 2, Everton 1, CR700, and wow, it was a bit nail-biting at times, but we got the job done. But before we get into it, remember, guys, if you are new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter at United. Smash the notification button. Based Manchester News. If you would like to come on as well for the post match, the link is in the chat. So if you'd like to come on, then just click on the link and you can come on. Shout out to Muncie Football, big up, bro. Thank you very much, buddy. Shout out to Matthew as well. Evening all, big up everyone, man. Love to have you back on the show again, Matthew, man. If you ever want to come back on, really appreciate it. But yeah, man, this was a really, really, really good win for Manchester United. I'm really gassed for this win. I think that I think what this game showed, at least in my personal opinion, is that it showed a mentality that I've not seen from Manchester United for quite some time. It showed a mentality where, because for as long as I remember, when Manchester United have conceded, and yes, okay, I appreciate that we conceded when we were in the early minutes, so there was still time to get back. But generally speaking, when Manchester United concede, there's always this kind of people shrunk their shoulders. They don't get involved. They're not interested. They just don't. There's just no mentality from this team to come back. But what I saw from this team is that, okay, yes, it was a bit of a shock. Yes, okay, fine. We got pegged. How do we respond? And they did respond. And for large parts of the game, whatever you say, Everton, yes, I think we're trying to get us on a counter, but we controlled the game a lot. This is not I've assumed this is hag ball. This is hag ball because we certainly didn't do a counter-attacking FC thing. Yes, I appreciate the last 50 minutes. We did get defensive. We were tired. We didn't really make that many substitutions, to be honest. Aside from McTominay coming on and getting a yellow card, meaning he's suspended for the Newcastle game. That was basically his predominant contribution. To be quite frank, other than that, I'm not entirely sure what McTominay did to contribute to the situation. We saw, what Casemiro could do. Yes, I appreciate the fact that Casemiro was, partly partly responsible mostly responsible for the first goal that Iwobi scored. But that was a good finish, man. Iwobi's finish was a very, very good finish, so I can't really blame him for that per se. But that pass to Ronaldo to get his obviously 700 goal for Manchester United, was great. Antony is G'ing up. It's good to see Antony G'ing up. It really is good to see Antony G'ing up. I think that Antony is slowly but surely justifying his price tag. I know people will clip me on this, but yeah, he's slowly but surely justifying his price tag. Antony, he's doing a good job. The goals, some of the goals and types of goals he's scoring, because that was a good G. That was a good G to kind of bend it around, despite the fact that Pickford was going in. I can't really blame Pickford for any of the goals he scored, to be honest. Efek, I've seen it back. I'll bring you in 2 seconds. But yeah, I can't really blame Pickford for any goals conceded. I think that fundamentally, United were just a better team. We're the better team, and we got the dub. It really is as simple as that. Now, United's next 3 games, Newcastle. I'll get the fixture up in a second, but from what I remember, Newcastle at home, then Spurs, I think at home, and then I think it's Chelsea away. Yeah. So it's going to be difficult. Shout out to SMB man in the chat, man. Good to see him come back. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we have the next 3 games are tough. Is the point I'm trying to make. The next 3 games are going to be tough. And whether Manchester United, what I will say is that I think if Manchester United can win these next couple of games, if we can somehow beat Newcastle, if we can somehow beat Chelsea, we can somehow beat Spurs, then I think the top 4 is in the bag, at least. I think the top 4 I'm not saying that we're going to surpass them because we've already beaten Arsenal, Liverpool already. Remember, we've already beaten those teams. So I think that if United can do that, then top 4's in the bag, man. Top 4's in the bag. I don't think there's any. I still think we need to go and get someone in January, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I am worried, and I'll talk about my concerns a bit about the fact that Martial being injured yet again, I think is another problem, and how I really, really, really wish we'd actually gone for a striker in the summer. For me, that was a priority. We should have got Gakpo as well as Antony, and the whole Marcus Rashford being a number 9. And playing, I think Antony Sancho in the wing. I'm still not convinced about that yet, but we will see. I'm not convinced about it because I still don't think Rashford is number 9. But can you play CR7 or CR700 as I'm calling him now? Can you play him for a full game? I don't think so. I don't know what we do about that situation, to be honest. I'm hoping the injury isn't that bad for Martial, but I love Martial. I think he's talented, but I think at this point it needs to be moved on. He's made of glass, and we've only played 8 games. I think this is our 8th game in terms of the league, let alone the Europa League, and he's picked up at least 3 injuries. I can't. Yeah, I think he needs to move on. Love the guy, but I think he needs to move on. Solo in the shout out to Solo. I'm back. Misty's live stream. Thank you, Solo. I was wondering, where's my community? Where is my community, guys? Where's my community? To be fair, I have been a bit not great with the live streams. I've been canceling things, moving things around because I've been busy with work as well. So I understand. And as it gets close to November, and specifically November 16th, I'm going to have less and less live streams. But guys, when the World Cup starts, I'm going to be going live every single day, man. Tune in for the World Cup. The World Cup is going to be good. I'm going to be doing watch-alongs. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So stay tuned for that. I want to shout out to... Sorry, so shout out to... how do I pronounce that? Is it Zebit? Zbit, because you don't pronounce the X to it, so I'll say Zbit. I'll say Zbit. So Zbit says, I want to share some story with you. Okay. Solo says we need a striker in January. Yes, I agree. What is it? 3 days ago, there was some streamer that argued at my comment, Martial will get injured again if he starts. Let's keep him as a super sub, so small chance injury. And they said Martial will not get injured. And we see it today. Where was that? Was that here? Was that on this? I don't think this was on this channel. So, but that's interesting. But yeah, it's a fair enough comment, and I don't disagree with you, Zbit, because I don't disagree with that. Oh right, okay. I've seen it. Exhibit. Sorry, I've got no idea why I didn't clock on. It's tired, and I've been revising all day. Okay, I'm not revising all day. That's a lie. So like, but I'm tired. But yeah, exhibit, man. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I need like he's made out of glass at the end of the day. And I mean, to be honest, he didn't last. How long did he last? He got taken off in the first half, so he only lasted half an hour. You know. So I'm at the point in Martial where you're like, if at the end of the day, like we can't play him for more than 50 minutes without him risking injury. I'm sorry, bro. He's got to be moved on. Or at the very least, we don't give him a new contract extension. You know, it's the same thing with Phil Jones. I don't know why Ed Woodward gave him a contract extension. He's now basically not in the team, really. You know, we can't have injury-prone players. I mean, look at Harry Maguire. I mean, Harry Maguire's is not back. Varane, obviously, I assume will come back into the team for the next game against Newcastle. I think we'll need Varane. And fair enough, I think Lindelof has shown. I mean, at this point, Maguire's fourth choice because Lindelof and Martinez are okay. He's been fine. Like I can't. The fact that I haven't spoken about Lindelof today shows you why there wasn't a problem. The fact that I haven't spoken about every time Maguire plays, we speak about him because there's something. The fact that I'm not spoken about him, no one brings him up, just shows you. So for me, Maguire is fourth choice. He's fourth choice. Yeah, exhibit. Yeah, pick my riders. Yeah, shout out to him, man. Martial can produce in this system, but the injuries are killing him. And yeah, I know he can. But he's been injury prone for how many years? He's like Luke Shaw. Although at least Luke Shaw, we can get at least a good run of games from him. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind him in the team. He'll pick up an injury, but we can get a good run of games from Luke Shaw. We can't get a good run of games from Martial anymore. We can't get a run of good games from this guy anymore. You know, this is game 8, and I think he's been injured 3 times already. Like, what the hell? You know? So I don't know. I was sorry. I was going to bring Efak in, but like he's just gone. So, so Efak, if you're watching, you can come. I'm ready to bring you in. If anyone does want to come on the show, the link is in the description, guys. You know, so not in the description. The link is in the chat. So if you want me to post a link in the chat, then like then let me know, man. You know, let me know. I don't know what's shout out to how's Barca doing, by the way, man. So, but I think Barca doing okay. To be fair, it seems Ten Hag knows exactly what he wants and needs, so he doesn't mind the media and what they want. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ten Hag was just doing his thing. But I know that Ten Hag wants a striker in January, but unfortunately, he's probably not going to get it. You know, he's probably not going to get it. Let me make a small point about CR700, man. I mean, he's gotten a lot of critic, and it was. You saw the relief, I think, on his face when he got the goal. You know, you saw the relief on his face. And he's there to make records at the end of the day. And he's made another one. 700 goals. 700 goals. That is insane. 700 goals? Are you kidding me? You know? So no, that's insane by CR700, man. It was a good finish as well. Brilliant pass by Casemiro to make up for him losing the ball for Iwobi's sick finish. I was embarrassed. I mean, Iwobi's scoring against this man. Come on, man. But it's fine. But yeah, man. You know, he needed that. He needed that, and I hope that can give CR7, that can give him the confidence to basically just go forward and do his thing, because that's what he needs. Ronaldo needs the confidence, and when Ronaldo gets confident, that's when Ronaldo can score goals. When he gets confident, that's when he can score goals. And sometimes, like I said, I think I said on previous shows, I'll bring Efak in. He's back. Let's see what Efak has to say, buddy. Okay. Efak, buddy, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Cool. Yeah, I can hear you, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what were your thoughts on this game?
I'm buzzing. Like, finally, Ronaldo scores. And I
Mm,
told people he's not finished yet. He just needs, you know, some minutes to get his sharpness up. And today, when he
mm,
came on, I thought he played really well, bar
mm,
the goal. I thought his link up play was good.
mm,
His tracking back was great.
mm,
And I think I told people he's our most reliable like forward because Martial, great player, great talent, but injured again. Like, we can't be
mm,
relying on this man
mm, mm,
anymore.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
I'm buzzing for Ronaldo, but on the team performance, I thought Luke Shaw was superb because
Yep.
it was a bit unpopular what I was saying, but I was saying that I think Luke Shaw is more of a better fit than Malacia right now because I think he's just more strong at getting back, if you know what I'm trying to say. And
Mm,
he
mm,
showed it today. He was brilliant, I thought.
mm,
I thought the whole defence was great.
mm,
Didn't really give Everton a sniff the whole match.
mm,
Um,
mm.
we controlled the game more in midfield. I thought Casemiro was superb.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I know that in the first goal he sort of made a mistake, but that shows his mentality because he might, if McTominay did that, he might have gone hiding in that game, but he still,
Mm,
got on the ball and
mm,
made that great play for the second goal.
mm.
But yeah, and I think Antony, you got to give him a lot of credit because I wasn't a
Yeah.
big fan of him in his first couple of games because I thought he wasn't direct enough. But today, he
Mm,
was getting in behind, really running
mm,
at them. And his
mm,
third goal in 3 matches, so
mm.
he's doing well on that front. And
Yeah, I mean, you got
yeah,
to make the argument that that front three, when fit, I mean, if Marshall was actually fit, he'd be it. But
mm.
Sancho, doesn't come into this team, to be honest.
No, he
Um,
doesn't. I think Sancho. I know people don't want to admit it because they still believe in him, but he's been very poor, man, for
mm,
Man United so far whilst he's been at the club. And I'm not
mm,
just. It's not an agenda or anything. It's just a fact. He's not got them numbers yet. He's not been direct enough. Not been as skillful as we thought he was going to
mm,
be. I still believe there's a player in there. It's just whether
mm.
he can get that unlocked.
I
But
think
I'm
I
not
think the
sure.
I think it could be the style, whether he prefers possession football. But I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing I think that was disappointing about Sancho is that I thought that this guy was a baller in the sense that, like, dribbling and taking people on. So
Yeah.
I thought I was getting, a Martial on the right, as it were,
Mm.
because Martial's good. Martial dribbles, Martial take people on, cut inside, come inside, etc. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
You know,
And
um, and I thought that that's what I would get with Jadon Sancho, but
yeah.
that's not like he sometimes he does it, but oftentimes he doesn't
Mm.
do it. Like, he squares it, like it's he said he's not direct enough, like it's
Mm.
just disappointing, so that it's
I
like
feel like.
you can make an argument that maybe even Lingard was better at being more direct in that
Oh yeah.
respect, and that's saying something. So when
Mm.
Link, I mean, as in, like, not Lingard last 2 seasons, when Lingard, like, started, when he came up on the field, like
Mm.
when he announced himself, that's what Lingard was doing. He was running at
Mm.
players, doing his coming outside, like, he was good. We've not even had, like, even that level of a performance from Sancho at, like, peak Lingard. We've not had that yet.
Yeah.
So it's a bit disappointing.
I think Sancho lacks that physicality. Like you see with Rashford, I'm not the biggest fan of Rashford as a player. I've said that many times, but
Mm,
he has them physical attributes. He's very explosive. Sancho, he
mm,
sort of lacks that a lot. He's
mm,
got it in his brain, but he just can't do
mm,
it because his body doesn't move as quick.
mm,
And I
mm,
feel like maybe he just doesn't fit this United squad or something.
mm.
Because
It's possible.
At Dortmund he was incredible, but here he's just not really got going. So
It's possible. It's possible.
yeah,
Let me just quickly read some. Also, I'm just reading some comments. I'll come back to you. Yeah, but to be fair, Robert's had a good. Yeah, I mean, he has. I'm not giving to him, so he has. Aside from flopping for Nigeria, he has SMB. Smasi is one of our members in chat. Thank you, Smasi. Always being a member. Really appreciate it. Casemiro played good. He did. We'll probably go into our player ratings in a second, actually. But he did. So Dallo solid. Yep, Dallo again. I think if there's one thing I would say about taking out the scene, I mean, he was cooked. Don't get me wrong. Dallo was cooked against at City. He was cooked. He was destroyed at Manchester City. I didn't think it helped that Antony didn't actually didn't help him out. I don't think that helped, but he was cooked at City. But generally speaking, he has improved as a fullback, definitely, and we have to give that credit to Ten Hag. It's great that Antony is getting his goals, so everyone is quiet about the price tag and gives him more time for him when jobs. Exactly, that's true. No one's really talking about Antony's price tag at all because he's getting the goals. People did talk about Sancho's, but to be honest, for none of the players that United have bought, no one's really talking about price tags. In part because Eriksen was free, Malacia was cheap, and no one really and Casemiro. We know Casemiro can be good. And also he's a Champions League winner, so you can't really diss him, So Samasi again says, how does Marshall get injured again? I know Antony is worth the money, 3 games, 3 goals, and Samasi, just like Antony is worth the money, Mane is worth the money for Bayern. Mane is worth the money for Bayern, and De Ligt is worth the money for Bayern. So support your team, Samasi, support your team. To be fair, everybody's getting cooked to buy Manchester City. Well, Liverpool play Manchester City this coming week, and if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be worried.
Do you see the Henderson thing?
What Henderson thing?
Apparently, racially abused Gabriel or something, which is pretty crazy. Apparently, it's getting investigated.
Oh dear, man, dear. That's true, man. The man is like, I mean, maybe Liverpool fans might think that. Maybe Liverpool fans might think that might be a good thing because Liverpool fans don't seem to exactly. People will go. Henderson banned for 5 games. Advantage Liverpool.
I think it'll be more than that now because of the way the Premier League is nowadays.
Yeah, it'll be more. So I think they'll be able to see that. So, but yeah, that's wild. Lol Samasi says, RDS don't remind me. I'm reminding you about how your team bottled it against Dortmund, Samasi. That's what I'm saying. It's bad. We need to talk about that on the United forum tomorrow actually as well. We need to review Bayern Dortmund. So let me just quickly bring up some stats and we'll quickly go through our player ratings actually. So let's just bring some match stuff up. That's why I like this Google thing. It has the stats up. So 12 shots on target, 11 shots to Everton, 4 shots to Everton, 2 shots on goals, 61% possession. You could see that in the game. Everton were set up to counter, to be honest. We had the ball for the most part. Our pass accuracy was slightly better, and we did pass the ball around a lot more. Although we did commit more fouls, 1 yellow card, which was obviously McTominay, who is now going to be suspended for the Newcastle game. A couple of offsides, 4 to 5 corners apiece, really, And this is the standing. This is the table, guys. This is the table. Manchester United are in 5th place. Despite losing 3 games, United are in 5th place with a game in hand as well. That's important, with a game in hand as well against, I think, Crystal Palace it was. And more importantly, 5 points ahead of Liverpool. 5 points ahead of Liverpool, man, who are in 10th place and who really they've got a game in hand, but who are really are struggling right now. Ifat, can I ask you one quick question, by the way? Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So, if I recall, Liverpool beat Bournemouth 9-0, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bournemouth's goal difference is -12, right?
Yeah.
So, given that's the case, how come Bournemouth are 8th and Liverpool are 10th?
I don't even know, honestly.
Can you
or even in the Premier League? I'm shocked.
I mean, can anyone in the chat help me as well? Can someone give me an explanation? Because I actually thought Bournemouth were going to get relegated, and they still might, because it's still early days, it's still 9 games. But what I don't understand is that how you could have a team that is on negative goal difference in double digits, that's 8th in the table and ahead of Liverpool FC. That's something that I'm, especially when I'm told by Liverpool fans that Salah
Chainsaw.
is top 3, Quad is coming, all those things. Chainsaw, Chainsaw's been he has been working, but I do miss Chainsaw. I've not seen Chainsaw around for a while, so I'm gonna try and see if he's around. We can do some quads together because a lot of Liverpool fans. I mean, SSB, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you? Actually, maybe you can explain that to me. I'm fairly sure you're Liverpool, not Chelsea. So if you could explain that situation to me, that would be great. What's Soto saying? Soto saying Liverpool are in serious trouble for the season, and it's been time to Klopp's 7-year drop thing. Yes. Now the question is, would Liverpool sack Klopp? I don't think
I think
so.
they need to.
I don't think they'll sack him though.
I think he's done. The team just looks like they're not playing for him anymore. And I don't know if it's fatigue from last season because they played all them games, but
it could be. But I just think with what Klopp has done, I just don't think Liverpool are like Manchester United in that respect. Liverpool don't just sack, like they're not like Chelsea, where like they just sacked Tuchel just like that.
They're going to have loyalty to Klopp as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot for the fact that he delivered the Champions League. So, given what he's achieved, he can have a bad season. And the reality is that I don't think Champions League football and Premier League football is that important to FSG per se. But you know what I mean? Like it's not like yeah.
That contract for Mo Santa that they gave, oh my god, that's looking like a terrible decision now.
No, it's not Mo Santa, it's Mo Sahara because he's going for a massive dry spell, man. But
people are not realizing he wasn't even that good second half of last season. So why would they give him like 500k a week? And he's been crap so far this season, but no one's saying anything about it because everyone loves him. But for me, he's an overrated player.
It's a good question. Make sure you like the vid, guys. Those who are watching, make sure you like the vid and subscribe if you knew it goes a long way. Liverpool are 10th. Yes, exactly, Samasi. RDS Klopp was playing Henderson at right wing today at the moment. This is wow. Oh man, it's peak. Man United have a good chance. Yeah. I think the main thing is why I was saying with United getting top 4 is United will get top 4 if they just make sure they see a lot of the mid-table to lower table teams. United have not. United's actually a couple of games actually, with the exception of Brentford, who De Gea basically threw the match there. United's couple of games, the starting games, have actually been quite difficult. Actually, we've had a difficult run. We've yet to play. We did play Leicester, we won. But we've yet to play Forest. We've yet to play an inform Wolves. We've yet to play Bournemouth. We've yet to play Leeds. We've yet to play a lot of teams in the bottom half of the table. So I do think that as soon as October is over, and we've played Newcastle, Chelsea, and Spurs, it'll be interesting to see where United are. If United can somehow beat those 3 teams, then I think the next couple of games will be fairly straightforward for Manchester United. Niall says Casemiro was outstanding. He was. Give that guy a dub, man. Give that guy a dub.
I love this guy, man.
Yeah, sorry. Speak on it. Speak on AFAC. Speak on Casemiro, man.
I just like his tenacity to always win the ball back and stuff. And I think the reason he gave away possession for that goal, I don't think he's used to the pace of the EPL.
The Premier League.
It is a lot faster. And like in La Liga, you get a lot more time on the ball. I'm not saying, I'm not starting a league debate or anything. I don't think both are top quality leagues, but the EPL is known for being like fast paced and stuff. So he's just adjusting to that, and he looked class today.
SSB RDS, look where Nottingham Forest on the table, waste of resources. Yeah, it's a 4 club. I'm disappointed because I genuinely hope the Nottingham Forest would do, but because they played good football in the Championship, but then they decided to just buy an entire new squad, which, in my opinion, just made no sense. Like why are you buying a new squad? And it goes past the team, the show that won freaking two Champions Leagues.
That's what Fulham did a few seasons ago, and it just completely failed, and they got relegated. They bought like 20 players. Like these guys are not going to gel that quickly. Like, people don't understand that.
I didn't get it personally. I really didn't get it. I just think that, yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Because if they get relegated, it's looking peak for those finances.
Yeah, exactly. They're done. Well, I don't know. It depends. I don't know how much did they spend overall. Because if they,
I think it was like 150 million.
But how much will they get from being relegated from the Premier League? They'll still get a good couple of million, maybe 20, 30 million from that. So and obviously and that's not including all the match day revenue and stuff like that as well. So, we'll see. I guess we'll see. Now is Chainsaw okay? He's not hiding. I've not seen Chainsaw for a while, man. I do need to check on him, man. I think he's busy with work actually, and obviously with his channel, So, but we need to catch up. We need to catch up with Chainsaw. Undisputed hasn't been, yeah, yeah. Undisputed hasn't been. I've not seen Undisputed for. All I remember from Undisputed was how he was like, basically saying that we've got the best of everything in the world and we're going to win a quad, and I'm so confident winning this UCL. And ever since then, he's not really been present for a while, So shout out to Undisputed. I hope that this weekend, that on the hangout, that you see Liverpool fans, that you see certain fans, maybe Samuel, Jamal, etc., come and sort of give their take. But we'll see. Who knows? Shout out to Liverpool FC, man. Shout out to Mike as well. So Liverpool are out of the race now. That win fast puts them 40 points clear Liverpool. People believe that Liverpool are out of the title race, but if you do the maths, yeah, they can catch up. But it's not about them being out of the title race in the sense of that they can't points-wise catch up. It's they're out of the title race in the sense that mentality-wise, I don't see how they can get better. I mean, this team that they played was arguably their best team. Like, who is injured that needs to come into this team? Like, who are they missing?
I really I don't worry for them because they can't stand them, but I think this is going to be like a very peak season for Liverpool. Like, seriously, it's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for this team at all. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I generally don't know. But I mean, Kanate was injured for a while. Kanate was actually really good last season, and he scored a lot of goals for right headers. So maybe he might do something. We
need to be honest as well. Does Van Dijk need to be dropped? For me, I'd drop it.
Efak. We've got to be careful here. We've got to be careful. Are you basically are you potentially saying that Van Dijk is a fraud?
Mate, before his ACL, he was special, but he's just not been the same ever since that. I can't lie. Not as brave anymore, because before his ACL, he was one of the most complete defenders I've seen, but now it's not looking good for the guy. I can't lie.
Oh dear.
And to be remembered as a great, you have to have been doing it for ages, and he's only had like 2 prime seasons.
That is true. That is true, man. That is true. How long do they wait for FSG though? Because if they drop too much, they'll definitely have another 30-year wait. Let me listen. Liverpool are not finishing below 10th, I think, and they're still in the Champions League, and they're still in domestic cup competitions. And you got to see there though. Like, I think I don't know. I think that unless there's like a risk of relegation, I would be very surprised. And maybe if we finish outside the top 10, then maybe. But Liverpool, like I said, have run like United. I'd be very surprised if Klopp was sacked. I'd be very, very surprised if Klopp was sacked because he's done so much for the club. And whatever you say, even Liverpool fans that are frustrated, I don't think I'm seeing a lot of Liverpool fans that are like avid Klopp out. They're like, we're not to the point where you're seeing fans go to Anfield protesting, taking banners, saying Klopp out, saying I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that like you did to a certain extent with Ollie when things started to get a bit toxic. So I think he's got a lot more time than people think. But we'll see if that changes if they get lubricated by City. Because if they get lubricated by City, it's over. But if they somehow beat Manchester City, then another conversation will be
No
had.
chance.
They don't have a chance, but it's
Bet you're going to beat them like 5-0 or something.
there's always a chance. There's always hope. There's always hope. There's always hope. There's always hope. That's what I believe. There's always hope. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. God, I haven't laughed so much in my life with the interviews on AFC Gas Up by Chancellor of the League and also onto title challenge. Well, in fairness to Arsenal fans, man, at least at least they can back it up though now. You know what I mean? Like whatever you say about Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal football team on the field showed major kahunas today, especially when they got pegged back for the second goal. They dominated Liverpool at times. They controlled the game, so they did what they needed to do, and they did it. Like, can you have any complaints? Let me just quickly just a few more chats, and then we'll get into play rating. This whole Klopp thing feels like Wenger with Arsenal towards the end of his career. That's scary. That's scary talk. That is scary talk. Ronaldo has less league goals than Nunes. Hashtag for Ice Freezy. Relax. Ice Freezy. Because he's just scored 700 goals, man. Does Nunes? I'm curious though. Does Nunes have 700 goals?
Does he even have 70?
That's that. I mean, does he even have 70 goals, man? Does Nunes even have a Champions League? I don't know. Like I think there are plenty of other players that you could have compared to, but like to bring Darwin into this when his team lost as well. By the way, Ice Freeze, you got to take the L, buddy. You got to take the L. Sorry, man. Sorry. Fulham did the same thing in the summer. Oh yes, regarding Nottingham Forest. Liverpool fans on social media have a meltdown and want Klopp sacked. Really? I'm not seeing that on social media. Are Liverpool fans doing that? I am not seeing that on social media, guys. I am not. If Liverpool fans are saying Klopp out, then I mean, I guess that's peak. I guess that that could mean that he's. But I think until you see that toxicity come into Anfield, I don't think that I don't think he's getting sacked. Samasi says, shout out to Brahmed turning up. Yes. That doesn't excuse Bayern for dropping points against Dortmund, though. David T, who's also a member of the channel, man, shout out. We are going to hopefully bring back the members hangouts. I'm so sorry that I've not had it for a while, guys. In fact, I'll probably put up a poll, actually, on the members only, just for you guys to know when exactly is the best day and time for you guys to do it, so we can get it so when everyone's around. I'll put a poll in the chat, actually, so I commit to that. But thank you, man. I am technically Los Blancos though, but I just happen to be a United fan for a few hours a week on this channel, and that's about it. Trent went off at halftime because Martinelli roasted him. He was injured, I think, as well. But and to be fair, you could maybe make an argument, maybe make a case that foul by Martinelli. I know it was a follow through, but it was dangerous. It was above ankle, so maybe Martin was a little bit lucky to get that. But then you can make the case that Van Dijk was also lucky against Everton, so it's neither here nor there. SMB says most Liverpool fans don't want Klopp out yet. Don't let social media fool you. A lot of fans have been supporting him for a long time and still. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going through with his comments. Mo Sahara is on 400k a week. He has Urzlitis. Really?
Could do.
Really? That's that. Matip was what? Yeah, he was. Matip was bad. I think that's the thing. I'd be interested to see because Konate did come on today. I'd be very interested to see this because I do still rate Konate as a good defender, and he has been injured for a while. And he does contribute to goals. He does give you that solidity. So
What about Trent? Trent destroyed again.
Trent might have to be dropped. I don't know who comes in his place. Maybe you can play. What? Maybe you can play. What? Actually, by the way, what happened to Robertson as well?
Injured, I think.
Injured. Okay. Maybe you play Gomez on the right as a right back. Possibly, that's a possibility. You do that. That's and then you bring you've been bringing Ibrahim Kanate with Van Dijk and see what happens. That's a possibility. You could do that. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But I do think that Kanate coming into the two might help them defensively. But we'll see what happens. Still looking at comments. My computer is frozen. Missing Robertson, but Kanate coming as a sub. Man United wishes they had a CB as good as VVD. Let me just highlight this comment, SMB. Let me just highlight this comment.
Lissandro is better.
Evac, relax. We gotta relax. We gotta relax. Van Dijk, pre-injury, was arguably one of the best defenders in the world. No doubt about that. I don't think any United fan can argue that. However, SSB, it's unfortunate that he's being done. And against Manchester City, I think that Liverpool fans have to be worried. Because it's quite possible that Haaland, Foden, even Grealish could send Van Dijk back to Celtic. It's possible. It's possible that that front three could send him back to Celtic. And so just like our defense was destroyed, I don't want it to happen because I actually want City to be beaten this season. I don't want them to go undefeated. I want there to be a title race. And I think that it would be definitely very interesting if Liverpool did beat City and then Arsenal went on to win, because Arsenal got a couple of really easy games now, and suddenly, so they can maybe potentially widen the gap. But the likelihood of that, I don't know. I didn't understand them taking off Salah and Jota when they were chasing the game, bringing defensive players on Klopp this far. Yeah, that was something I didn't quite understand. I didn't quite understand why Klopp was going defensive. As far as I was concerned, you need to win the game. Why do you want to see out the point? And then obviously Thiago did that mare. Artists, you have to understand, most of the fans are very optimistic people and stubborn. Almost going to be opposite of Chelsea fans like this. Is fans who are chilling. Yeah, exactly. I know. I that's my point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to say that, bro, if even if Liverpool finish 10th, because of what Klopp has done, he's not going to get sacked, bro. Even in the stadiums, they're gonna be, if there's going to be anything, there's going to be more on the players. He's not going to be sacked unless the players mutiny completely, and unless the fans, he's not. Now, if this happens next season, then there might be an argument. But this season, considering that in the previous season they were competing for 4 trophies, nah, it's not happening.
Who are they going to replace Klopp with as well?
That's another thing as well.
I mean, Allegri might be available soon.
Oh, that fraud, man. That fraud. Let's not talk about Allegri. I guess there's Tuchel's around, Pochettino's around. There are players that man's available. Although I don't necessarily think that Tuchel would do better than Klopp with these players. But I just don't see him going anyways. I just don't. Let's have a look here. Arteta, aka Lightbulb, is a good manager. Who'd have thought it? Yeah. Tuchel's not coming in, man. Tuchel's coming in. Beef Bully, shout out to Beef Bully, man. RDS, what do you think about CR7 in the hole behind Martial and Rashford? Me, I prefer CR7 coming off and on from the bench. I mean, that sounds good in theory, Beef, but the issue that we have right now is that Martial can't stay fit. That's the problem. So that's the issue. Anthony Martial can't stay fit, and that's our problem.
The injury didn't look good as well. It looked back.
It didn't.
It'll be out for a while, man.
Yeah. I'm I don't want to say I'm done with Martial, but I'm kind of done, man. We need a forward, man. We need a forward. we
It's
do.
like the Pogba thing. Like you think they're back on form, and they get injured again. It's just so annoying, man.
What legacy does CR Kelly have if Haaland breaks his records? He's not going to though, because
Crazy. Relax.
because I think you need to understand like how many goals like Ronaldo scored. Like Ronaldo scored 700 goals. Like in order for Haaland to do that, he has to, from now, assuming that Ronaldo still doesn't retire, he has to score at least like 40 from now, because Haaland is 23, 22,
RDS.
23.
The stat here is he has to score 43 goals every season to
Yes,
and also talking about legacy, he has to get accolades and trophies as well. He hasn't really won
exactly.
anything yet.
Exactly. So
This
that's the
guy's just a
thing.
Messi fan.
Yeah. It's like he has to score 43 goals a season from now, assuming that Ronaldo retires today. And on top of that, he has to win similar trophies. He has to, yeah, of course, City probably won the title. So congrats. He didn't win anything at Dortmund substantially. He'll win his first major trophy at Man City this year. And we don't know whether he'll win the Champions League yet. Like, it's I think it's too early for people to say that he'll surpass Ronaldo or even Messi. I think Haaland is a freak. I think we need to ask the question about whether or not he'll surpass Mbappe when it comes to goal scoring, when it comes to achievement. It's at least non-international achievement. But in a Ronaldo Messi conversation,
RDS.
yeah.
For me, it's not just about stats as well. Those two are just miles better players than him as well. Just as pure footballers. Like what Haaland is doing is great, but it's not shocking really with all the creativity in the team. Like
exactly.
how many goals has he scored from outside the box? I know he's striker.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think a lot of people think is that like Haaland is as good as the players that are around him. At the end of the day, at Dortmund they didn't win anything because the players around him weren't as great. Norway, they haven't qualified for the World Cup because the players on him. He's got brilliant players around him. So now we sort of Haaland is not someone that I would say. For me, I love the guy. I think is good, but for me, you become elite when you're carrying a team. When you're known to carry a team to be World Cups. Haaland is not carrying Manchester City.
And the thing
like
is,
he's making them better, but he's not carrying them. But sorry, go on.
I believe that any half decent striker with all that service from like De Bruyne and stuff could get like half the goals. Haaland is exceptional because he just is that natural one goal scorer. But for me,
City were linked with Ronaldo at one point. So there you go. Shout out to Luca man in the chat. You guys are going to win the league, aren't you now? Let's quickly go through the player ratings just quickly, and then we'll just begin to just sort of round things up a bit. So I will just get the lineups here. That will help, and I'll get everyone this team. Right. Okay. So hopefully, can everyone see that? Yeah, everyone should be able to see that. Okay. So David De Gea. David De Gea. What do you think, Nifat? We'll do one. We'll do one each. So David De Gea, you go first.
I think I'll give him a 7 because
okay.
What impressed me today was his coming off his line and stuff. He made some great clearances off his line, which is something he gets criticised for. His distribution was decent as well. I thought he made a great save in the final minutes. That curling shot, sort of going into the back post. So yeah, I think he didn't really have to do much, but he did have a good game.
So we'll go from right to left. So Dallo, I think I'll give Dallo an 8. I think Dallo had a very good game today. Very good game. And he's certainly one of the most improved players under Ten Hag. He was destroyed against City, but to come back, forget about that and put in a good performance, I think was really good. So he's our best. I would say he's our best fullback currently right now, consistent wise. So yeah, Dallo an 8 for me. Lindelof.
8. I thought he was superb all game, and he's not really been in the firing line this season.
No. I was saying before I brought you in, I was like, the reason why I know Lindelof isn't good because no one's said anything about him. Maguire is out injured, and Maguire is fourth. He's not his club captain, but he's fourth choice defender right now.
For me, Lindelof's always been a bit underrated. Like he is good on the ball and stuff. He's not great physically, but he's not a bad defender at all in my books.
No, exactly. You
And
know,
for Maguire, I don't know how he gets back into this team, man. You know, he's fourth choice at best.
Martinez, I'll give Martinez. Yeah, I'll give Martinez an 8 as well. I think Martinez had a good game as well.
Can I speak on this, man?
Go on.
This guy is so good, man. Like, not just his defensive ability, his like play on the ball and his building from the back and his passing ability. That gives us like an extra midfielder when we're in possession. He's so good on the ball. And he never gets cooked physically. Could do easily, and for me, one of the best defenders in the world right now.
I mean, that's definitely a statement. Like, I mean, is he better than Van Dijk right now? I mean, yeah,
obviously.
So like, but yeah, he is. I think he was cooked. He was. I mean, all of our back four was cooked against Manchester City. So I am. Go on.
Can I just make a point on that game last week? There was no protection from the whole team. It was the defense was getting cut because the midfield was non-existent. The wingers weren't tracking back. It wasn't just the defense's fault. We just had a bad game.
Yeah,
and we're playing one of the best teams in the world. So.
I agree. Luke Shaw. I'll give Luke Shaw a solid 7. So I think that he was good. He came in, he did a good job, and I think the thing with Luke Shaw is that we've always seen is that when Luke Shaw's competition, he ups his game. So Malacia obviously the last 2 games has not been great. So Luke Shaw coming back in, I think he deserves to come back in.
For me, with Shaw, it's all about just being consistent and staying fit. I always say, like, he has great ability as a player. Like, you seen today, he pocketed Gordon. Gordon didn't even do anything the whole match.
No.
His physicality and his pace, he's a good player. He just needs to stay consistent and fit.
Exactly. No, I agree. Casemiro, man. In fact, you want to go Casemiro?
I'll give him do we do halves?
Yeah, we'll do halves.
8.5, yeah. Easily. Superb. The first goal, away he's going. He got cooked, but to stay in the game and like provide that amazing assist, make those interceptions, really defended our box well as well because in them corners. And I think he helps us keep possession in the midfield more. He's just better on the ball than McTominay, and he's not even that good on the ball. That just sums up how crap McTominay is on the ball.
I mean,
Casemiro was superb.
I still think the sort of Eriksen Casemiro DM sort of I don't think necessarily will work. I don't think I think that again, if we played against City, I think we would have probably been overwhelmed again in midfield. I think that to be honest, you either play him and McTominay together or him and Fred together. I think that if you've got Eriksen should be here basically, and Bruno potentially should be dropped. But we're not going to go there because I don't think Casemiro can play the lone pivot role by himself in this league anyway. So, but yeah, 8.5. Eriksen, I'll give again a solid 7. I think that again he had a great game. Again, I'm not really a fan of him in this position here because I think against a team that had more of a competent midfield, I think would have been trouble. And I think in order for us to, at times we were being exposed by Everton's counter-attack and just Eriksen just on the legs, but at the same time, Eriksen, his distribution is very, very good. And I think he's definitely one of the best signings that we've made, certainly in recent years, So following from that, Antony.
Give him a 7.5.
Okay.
I thought the goal, and I think that was his best game so far for the Man United, just overall as well. And I think that this guy, I compare him a bit to Robin. He's just not as explosive. Like his left foot shots, they're always like cash money. So he reminds me a lot of Robin, man. I'll give him an extra half because that celebration as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's expensive, yes, but at the end of the day, like he He's paying it back bit by bit,
Mm-hmm.
bit by bit. You know, all I need to see
Yeah.
him do is do it at Stamford Bridge, man, and then we can start to cook.
Oh yeah.
You know, if I can see him do that, like him, Ronaldo, and Rashford just doing that at Stamford Bridge, you know, so doing it at Anfield, you know, doing it, you know, in at the Emirates, you know, so then we can
Mm.
start to cook maybe, you know. Bruno, how do I rate Bruno here? I mean, he was okay. I mean, maybe 6.5. I don't know if that's too low. So I wouldn't say I didn't notice Bruno. I think it was good, but um, like he had an average performance in my opinion. You know, that was it. Like,
No,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I was giving it a 6. He didn't really do anything like to
Mm,
note.
mm.
Can't remember anything he did in the whole game, for being
Yeah,
honest.
exactly. And this is what concerns him because this is the position he's playing. Like this is the position, in my opinion, which should be memorable, where you should be doing things. The fact that like I'm not noticing Bruno in this position is worrying. You know, but he's the captain, deputy captain anyway. He's getting picked, but I don't know. I personally think that I personally think that he should be dropped, but that's just my
I'd
personal
rather
opinion.
see Fred in there and like Ericsson in the 10. And I might get cooked for saying that, but I just don't rate Bruno, man. He's just so overrated for me nowadays.
I mean, he definitely had a very good season, you know. So, but
He
like,
fell
yeah,
off though.
he's fallen off. He's fallen off. I don't I generally don't know where the dude's gone. I don't, unfortunately. Um, Marcus Rashford, I'll give a 7.5. With Marcus
Mm.
Rashford again. I think Marcus Rashford is at least slowly but surely, I think, gaining his confidence back.
Mm.
Um, I think slowly but surely I think that again uh he's still better on the left, so and I'm worried that against Newcastle, against Spurs, against Chelsea, because of Martial's injury, we're going to revert to Rashford as a number 9. We can't do that. We can't revert to Rashford to number 9. But at the same time, we can't play Ronaldo for 90 minutes to number 9. So I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest. Um, we've got to sort that situation out
Mm.
because you take away something out of the United team of the game when you put Rashford as a 9. Um, maybe you try and risk Ronaldo. You risk Ronaldo against maybe Newcastle, try and get him fit again, put him at the number 9, put Rashford left and Antony right, and see what happens. And hope that we can do something. But again, that changes things. So it's difficult. It's
Mm.
difficult, man. And what are your thoughts on Martial / Ronaldo?
Martial, I think I'll give him a 7 for when he was on because he made the assist and it was a good pass.
Hmm.
He didn't do much. Obviously, he's only on for 25 minutes, but I'll give him 7 because of that assist alone.
Hmm.
Ronaldo, I'll give him an 8 because I thought to come back into the team and score that goal finally, and he needed that goal because you seen it on Thursday. He was trying too hard to get that goal, and he just wasn't his usual self. So I thought
Hmm.
just his overall game was quite good today as well. His hold up play,
Hmm.
thought his one touch passing was nice and
Hmm.
made some good chances for the team. So yeah, I'll give
Hmm.
him 8, and he'd probably be my man of the match for today.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, yeah, I mean that's a good. So who is sort of chat? Let me know your thoughts on who is your man of the match. I mean, personally for me, I think my man of the match will probably go to Casemiro, just with what
Oh
he
yeah, I
did
forgot about him.
and growing into the game. And I think from now, you can't drop Casemiro now. You know what I mean?
Not
You can't
impossible.
drop him
Has to
now. It's
play.
not impossible. He has to play. The only change I would make, to this team right now, is that Varane obviously comes back in for Lindelof. Though I don't mind Martinez and Lindelof, I think that's fine. But Varane probably comes back in, and I think that we need to sort out this midfield, because I just think that this doesn't work. This here works, Ericsson here works, but this doesn't work. And I think a competent midfield Like Newcastle have a competent midfield. Newcastle are just like it's fifth between six. Newcastle are going to be difficult going even at Old Trafford. They've got a good coach. They've got good players. They have got confidence going into this game. They're going to be difficult, and we could be swarmed in the midfield. So
yeah,
I still think we need to sort out this midfield problem.
What's his name? Bruno Guimaraes.
Guimaraes, yes,
He looks
very
like a top
good. Very, very good. I'm surprised he's still at Newcastle. He could be at Madrid, you know.
player.
And then we need to sort out who's playing as the number 9. So a part of me thinks that maybe we should even just try Bruno there at number 9, because at least if he's there, he's not in the midfield position and he's not causing problems here. Play Bruno as a false 9, and then play Rashford and Antony, and then play Eriksen behind him or something like that, you know. So then Ronaldo to come on, if at worst, because at least Bruno's away from the midfield, you know. So, but you know, I guess we'll see what happens. Samasi, if Marshall could just be healthy. Man of match for Samasi is Casemiro, and thank you for your ratings, Samasi. I didn't go for them all, but thank you for your ratings as well. Really appreciate it. But guys, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. EFAC, really appreciate you coming on. Remember, he's no problem. We were doing more lives. Remember, guys, if you need to like and subscribe to Red Devil Studio, follow us on Twitter, United X, smash that notification button for latest Manchester United news. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers. Peace.